You ever wonder why people do the things they do? It's like the biggest mystery of our social lives, right? And every single day, we're all playing detective, trying to figure it all out. So, let's grab our magnifying glass and start our investigation.
This is the question that starts it all. It's the one we ask ourselves constantly, sometimes without even realizing we're doing it. We are just wired to look for the why behind every action. We need to find the motive.
I mean, think about it. The second one of these things happens, your brain instantly jumps into detective mode. Is that driver a total jerk? Is your coworker passive-aggressive? Is your friend just flaky? Or is there something else going on entirely? That first gut reaction, that's where our whole story begins.
To solve these little daily mysteries, our minds have a kind of go-to playbook. We really only investigate two main suspects, the person themselves or the situation they find themselves in. You know, this whole mental process actually has a name. It's called attribution theory. A psychologist named Fritz Heider was one of the first to really dig into it. It's basically the official term for how we assign causes or attributes to the things we see people do. It's the official psychological rulebook for our inner detective. So here's the deal. We have two main ways of explaining things. On one hand, we can make an internal attribution. We blame the person. It's their personality, their mood, who they are deep down. But on the other hand, we can make an external attribution. Here, we point to the situation, to bad luck, or maybe pressure from other people. Pretty much every judgment we make falls into one of these two buckets. But here's the big twist in our investigation. A lot of the time, we're not very good detectives. We have this built-in bias that consistently makes us point the finger at the wrong suspect. It's called a fundamental attribution error, and it's our brain's default setting. We automatically assume someone's actions are a direct window into their soul, into who they are, while almost completely ignoring the power of the situation around them. It's a mental shortcut, right? A quick way for our brain to get an answer without doing all the hard work. We blame the person, not the context.
And this error pops up everywhere. For example, if we see someone who's overweight, that mental shortcut might immediately jump to an internal cause, things like laziness or a lack of self-control. We just systematically gloss over all the possible external factors, like a medical condition, genetics, or even their life circumstances.
And this sneaky error doesn't work alone. Nope, it's actually part of a bigger pattern of biased thinking where we have one set of rules for judging other people and a completely different, much more forgiving set of rules for ourselves.
This is what's known as the actor-observer difference. Get this. When we're the actor in the story, we are totally aware of all the situational stuff pushing and pulling on us. But when we're just an observer watching someone else, all we see is their action, and our brain takes that shortcut and blames their character. Let's just see how this plays out. Okay, imagine a coworker totally blows a deadline. Our first thought is probably, yep, they're unreliable, they're disorganized. It's an internal thing, a flaw in who they are. But okay, let's flip it around. Now it's you who misses the deadline. What's the story you tell yourself now?
Well, of course. Suddenly the situation is the star of the show. The project was impossible, you had way too many meetings, you didn't have the right info. It was external, it wasn't your fault. You see that double standard? It's huge.
And this is all tied up with one more partner in crime, the self-serving bias. This one is all about protecting our ego. When we succeed, we take all the credit. I'm a genius, I worked so hard for this. But when we fail, we blame the world. The test was unfair, my boss has it out for me. It's like our brain's personal defense lawyer.
Okay, so our inner detective is flawed. It's biased, and it's a little bit self-serving. It kind of seems like a hopeless case, right? Well, it's not. There is a way to crack this code and get past our own biased thinking.
So what's the secret? How do we override this buggy software in our brains and start making more accurate and, frankly, more compassionate judgments about other people? The answer is actually surprisingly simple.
The evidence is pretty clear on this one. The antidote, the secret weapon against the fundamental attribution error, is perspective taking. Seriously, studies have shown that even a quick, simple exercise where you try to see the world from someone else's point of view can dramatically cut down this bias.
So here's your new detective toolkit. It's 3 simple steps. First, just pause. Fight that instant urge to blame the person. Second, actively consider the context. Ask yourself, okay, what else could be going on here? And third, the most important step, really truly try to imagine the situation from their perspective.
And look, this isn't just some fun psychological brain teaser. Getting a handle on this bias is absolutely critical, because our automatic, flawed judgments can have some seriously huge consequences out there in the real world.
Just look at what's at stake. In a courtroom, this bias can make jurors way more punishing because they're focused on the defendant's supposed bad character instead of their circumstances. In schools, a teacher might label a student lazy instead of wondering if maybe their teaching style isn't working or if something's going on at home. It even affects our mental health. And of course, it causes endless misunderstandings and fights in our own relationships.
So, the next time someone cuts you off or sends you that frustratingly short email, remember, you're the detective on the case. You can go with the easy automatic story, the one that blames their character. Or you can choose to do the real detective work. Pause, consider the situation, and investigate just a little deeper. The first story is easy, but the second one makes us better. So what's your verdict?